Good morning, Judith.
Good morning, Sonya.
Having a few technical difficulties here.
I was sitting on the power source.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Don't sit on your power source. That could be one of the gifts we give
There
ourselves.
you go. Who knew?
So, welcome to the Coach's Cup. I'm Sonya Green from SonyaGreenCoaching.com.
And I'm Judith Fender, and I'm a coach with No BS weight loss program.
All right. And today we are talking about gifts to give ourselves just in time for the holidays.
Yay.
Yeah. And I had something I was gonna say and it just flew out of my brain. So I guess I need some memory vitamins for
Right.
gifts that I give myself this year. Yeah. But we were talking as we've been planning our topics going into the holidays, we wanted to have just a conversation about things that we see in our coaching clients and women in general, gifts that we offer you that we work on too, that we're going to work on. That if you can gift this to yourself, it will not only make your holidays better, but it can really up level your life in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. It is with
Oh, you're gone again.
all. What?
There, it's very crinkly. Sorry.
No. Without a doubt, of course, everything we're going to talk about is going to be thought based, right? So, not only are these the best gifts to give yourself, they're also affordable and they're right at your fingertips. Just
Yeah,
change your thoughts, change your life.
all you have to do is work on your brain.
Yes. And
Which,
you get to do it all day long. You
yeah,
can just gift yourself all day long.
that's right. So these should not add more stress.
Mm.
If you listen to this podcast and you start getting stressed out, you're doing it wrong. No,
This is
these
true.
yeah, seriously though, these should take stress from your life. That's what we're trying
Oh,
to do here.
that it's so funny because you said the word should, and that is actually
Why don't you start with that great
perfect.
segue? Yeah.
Right? So, one of the gifts I'm going to gift myself is that I'm not going to should on myself as I go into the holiday season. So many of us, I'm going to talk about me, right? So personally, I feel like, well, I should do this for my family. I should be the mom who gets up and does this, or I should go shopping, and so in thought work land, we call that when we should on ourselves, we should stop shoulding,
Yeah.
because that energy, that level of that energy when we should on ourselves is not a positive.
Right.
It's coming from a place of a negative vibe, like a judgment.
Yes.
So I am gifting myself that I will not be shooting on myself over the holidays,
Yeah.
that I'm going to be in a state of presence. I'm maybe have many gifts coming here, but I'm just going to work on being present. And when I gift myself that, I will not be feeling like I need to be shooting, or I need to be doing something.
Yeah. Yeah, we put so many shoulds on ourselves. I mean, I think that's one without a doubt that we all do. And it just like you said, it never comes from a positive place. It always comes from this feeling of inadequacy, of
Lack,
scarcity.
lack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love that one. I think that's something that all of us can work on.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the ones that I'm going to give myself and that I have been giving myself for a while now, um, is not giving up.
Mm.
And I think, whatever it is that you want to apply this to, when I started my weight loss journey, um, a lot of people in the tribe had different reminders and ways of committing to themselves, and several of them had gotten tattoos. And I am not a tattoo person. That's just
Mhm.
I've never um I never have gotten one. And so what I did instead was I got myself this little bangle, and I had on it, inscribed on it, future me. You can't see that. But I wear this every day, and it kind of clanks against my watch. It makes a little clank during the day that I can hear. And it's funny how hearing that reminds me at just times throughout the day that I am not giving up on myself.
Mm.
Whatever it is, whether it's working on my weight loss, whether it's working on my thought work, whether it's working on my business, all of the things, I don't give up. I may not be where I want to be. I may not have reached the goals that I've set for myself yet, but I don't give up. And I find that really empowering because it's so easy, I think. And if you're talking about weight loss during the holidays, I think you definitely see that happening. People have access to more, I guess, foods that they don't think are diet appropriate during the holidays. And they're just like, oh, I'm giving up until January 1st. How many times do you hear that?
Often.
All the time. You know
Mhm.
what not giving or giving up and wait until January 1st does for you? About
January 2nd.
10 10 or 12 pounds is what and isn't that the national average that you gain,
I've heard that.
7 to
Mhm.
10 pounds during the holidays? So, and I'm not saying, listen, don't hear me say I'm being perfect here. But the whole point of not giving up is I hear that little clink sound that this makes, and it reminds me that even if I haven't met my goal for the day, all I have to do to correct that is the next meal,
Yep.
the next decision I make.
Yep.
I don't give up. It's not well, I'm going to throw that off for 2 months. That's not what it is. That's giving up on my dreams. That's
Mm.
saying that whatever is lying around that I want to put in my mouth is more important than my dreams.
Mm.
And I'm not doing that. Or that's saying that scrolling on social media is more important to me than my dream of building my business,
Mm.
or it's more important than my dream of having, my spending time with my family. There's
Mm.
so many things, so many little moments where we are tempted to give up. And so that's my gift to myself is I have committed that I'm going to keep working on me, and I'm not going to give up.
I love that. I'm just in here like wow, you've like I'm shitting on myself. I should have had more to say.
No,
Sonia?
no, I was thinking I'm going on too long here, but
No. No,
it's
it's
that's a big one for me.
yeah. Yeah. I could tell. Like it was very very well thought out and very like is conviction the word I want to use as you were
Yeah,
speaking? Like you could tell like
yeah.
this is something that's really important to you and
Yeah,
uh,
because I think I spent most of my life, doing things like giving up when I wasn't perfect,
mm,
and we're never perfect,
yeah.
so
Yeah, and it's so interesting as you were talking because I was thinking to myself, what I also heard in it kind of mirrored back what I was saying is like
yes.
when we're present, we're not thinking about January 2nd. If we're living in the moment, gifting ourselves the gift of presence,
Mhm.
we're not we're we're just not judging ourselves and
Yes.
we're I don't even know like if I can wrap the words around it because it's such a powerful place to be when
Yeah,
you are not judging and when you're present and when you are um, not quitting.
yeah. Yeah. I think both of these gifts, these first ones that we've offered, they both have that sense of not judging ourselves. I mean, that's the thing that they both incorporate.
Right.
And we as women are so hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
So,
Which rolls right into, my second one is self-acceptance. So for
yes.
me, this has been, I'm coming up on my 53rd birthday next week. And, I've just recently started a new job with No BS and being a coach, and absolutely love everything that's going on in my life. And and I was just telling Sonya, we were talking before we started recording, we were talking about skin and, changes that are going on, and some realizations I've had around myself. And one was, that this, I'm going down rabbit holes here, that I I like to observe people. Okay. Like this is, and Sonya does too.
Yeah.
Fun fact about us, like I think of it as being like the calm, like the eye of the storm, like the calm, like
Mhm.
always observing and watching and learning. Like that's
Yeah.
really my power place to learn, is by observing. And I was kind of doing some journaling yesterday, reading the book, The Body is Not an Apology. So I'm coming back full circle to the body, right? Um, and in one of the journal prompts that Sonia Renee Taylor has in her book, it was something about we're willing to give up. So, what is something I'm willing to give up? But all of this was about the body.
Mhm.
And what I came to was that I'm willing to accept that I'm okay with myself right now. And it's okay to not have a problem. I'm not dwelling on my legs. I'm not dwelling on my stomach. I'm not dwelling on my face. I'm not dwelling on my hair. I am in a state. I'm willing to accept myself. I'm a 53-year-old woman who's lost 80 pounds, who's had two children, who's had her gallbladder removed. I have shoulder surgery. I've also run what, 7, 8 half marathons. I lift weights 3 or 4 times a week. Like, I really just feel this, I think it's empowerment around self acceptance,
Yeah.
that the battle is done. The battle, the war, all of it. Am I making sense? I'm done.
Yeah.
I am in a state of accepting my body. I'm accepting my age. I'm not going to accept the color of my hair. I will continue to color the hair,
Yeah.
but just dropping into that place of it's okay. And it's okay to, the thoughts that I have about myself, I'm just going to let them enter and exit. It's just going to be, they're just thoughts. And it's not really what I believe or hold true about myself. I accept myself for where
I
I'm at.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah, and you see, I mean, ultimately, we get there's no right or wrong. You know, you see plenty of women fight it tooth and nail.
Hmm. Hmm.
And, that's what they decide to do. Um, do you ever watch Grace and Frankie?
Yes.
Okay, Jane Fonda, I love in that show how she is very transparent about how hard she works to not look, what is she, 82,
She's
80?
like, yes,
She's
yes.
amazing, but I love watching those scenes where she takes off the hair
All
pieces
the things.
off the yeah, and, really strips herself down. Of course, she still looks amazing.
Mhm.
If I could look half that good at 82, my life would be but I love that acceptance that she has that this is who I am. She works hard to make that statement, whether it's the knee braces and,
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
the I just really enjoy seeing that. And that's what why wouldn't you accept yourself the way
I,
you are?
I think it's from years of battling, and not maybe just years of questing for something that I didn't know what I was looking for,
Yeah.
thinking it was going to be a number on the scale that was going to
Yes.
tell me I'm okay, or that it was going to be a pant size that was going to tell me that I can accept myself now. And when we drop those labels, when we drop those numbers, when we focus on the actions and the feelings that we have, and um, the pride I feel when I do my exercises and who I've become, like when I look at the journey,
Yeah.
it's from that place that I'm like, hell yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to roll with this. This feels good.
You can accept yourself wherever you are.
Yeah.
And what better gift? I mean, it doesn't mean that you have to be complacent in it either, right?
Oh
Like
no. Oh
you
no.
said,
I'm not
you're
going to quit
constantly
working out. I'm not going to quit putting makeup on.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're it's the journey, and where I am happy with it. I
Hmm.
am proud of it. I remember once I was kind of feeling bad about some of the changes in my body, and and I was looking back at a picture of me from several years ago, and my husband said something about, why do you have that picture out? And I said I was just looking at what I could be, what I used to be.
Oh,
And he said, well, you didn't have me and Bennett when you in that picture. And I was just like, wow. He wasn't judging the way I looked right now. He was judging the fact that I had given us the gift of our child, and, that to him, that was the important thing about the difference in that picture. He
yeah.
wasn't in that picture.
He gets
He
lots of credit. I'm
he's
telling you,
too
that's
much.
pretty awesome.
He's a pretty amazing man. I'll tell you, for lots of reasons he is. But that made me realize, if he can accept me, why can't I? And again, it doesn't mean that, I stop trying to improve, but
Right. Right. And that even that in itself is acceptance.
yeah, yeah,
The level of the level of just that it feels okay,
peace,
peace, the
peace.
calm,
Yes,
that and that it doesn't feel, there's no race to it. There's
right.
no, I've accepted what I own. I'm going to come back to the present, is right now.
Yeah,
Is right now.
right. Absolutely.
Hmm.
So the other gift that I had to offer is really something that I am working on. Some of these I've been working on a long time, but this is something new that I'm working on, and it's self-nurturing.
Mm.
And um, I think as I have really been doing thought work, one of the things that I realize is that many of us were not, just like we weren't taught to process our emotions,
Hmm.
we weren't taught to nurture ourselves.
Hmm.
And again, that is not blaming anybody for anything. It's just a simple fact that nobody taught us anywhere. Nobody at some point said it's important to learn how to process your feelings. It's important to learn how to nurture yourself. And so we kind of think that maybe that sounds a little strange, or that we're trying to blame our parents for something, but I'm not at
No, no,
all.
no, no, no. Mm-mm.
Um, but learning to nurture ourselves is one of the gifts that I'm learning to nurture myself, is one of the gifts that I'm learning to give myself right now. And it's very much like some of the things we've already talked about, but it's really catching the negativity that I have about where I am, and speaking to the little girl that's inside of me. We talk about the primitive brain sometimes.
Mhm,
And I think Corinne calls that the toddler brain.
mhm.
That that part of our brains is the part that usually sends up the self-talk, the negative self-talk, because that's what's habit. That's what's rolling in our mind. And my gift to myself with self nurturing is stopping that negative self talk and looking at that toddler, that little girl who is perfectly acceptable and perfectly worthy, and saying to her, "Of course you feel whatever this thing is that you're
Mhm.
feeling right now. Of course you do. There's nothing wrong with feeling that feeling." It doesn't condone the behavior. So let's say, um, if I have planned to work on to write a blog post today, or maybe I'm going to batch a blog several blog posts today, and instead I spend the time scrolling through my phone
Yeah.
because I'm anxious or overwhelmed about doing the blog posts.
Mhm.
It doesn't condone the behavior. It doesn't say, "Oh, well, it's okay that you did that. You'll just do it again tomorrow." But it's, of course you felt overwhelmed. Of course we are supposed to use the first person. I told you I'm learning this. But of course we felt overwhelmed. Now what can we do to move forward? It's not beating myself up. It's stopping that loop of the negative self-talk and replacing it with a nurturing, loving voice
Yeah.
that doesn't condone the negative behavior, but at the same time also doesn't punish.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things that I'm working on, and am excited to practice more.
Yeah.
Um, it's it's a very different practice for me. And act like I'm the only one, but a lot of people are like this. Um, I don't recognize a lot of emotions, negative emotions sometimes until I find myself in the act of buffering in some way.
Yeah.
And so I'm learning to catch those. What are the thoughts that are going through my head when I catch myself in this action?
Mm, that's really good. I love all that. And it's interesting as I hear you say that. What was the book you said you're reading? What book is it?
When food is comfort.
When Food is
Yeah,
Comfort.
it's Julie Simon. It's really very good. And while she talks mainly about breaking the cycle of overeating, finding comfort in food, it really applies to so many areas. The women that I coach on imposter syndrome, it it applies so much to things that I see going on in their lives too, because all of it comes around to the fact that we haven't been taught to sustain ourselves, our negative emotions.
Mhm.
Um, we've been taught to stuff them down. And she even connects it. This is interesting. I have always had a very high pain tolerance.
Mhm.
And of course, that's always been, presented as a good thing.
Mhm.
Oh, you have such a high pain tolerance. That's amazing. Well, Simon points out that having a high pain tolerance is not necessarily a good thing. It means that you are very practiced at disassociating
Uh,
your brain from your body. You have a high pain tolerance because you're very good at stuffing your feelings down. And I
Interesting.
was like, "Oh, wow."
Yeah. I can see
So
that. I can see that.
it
Mhm.
makes perfect sense. Yeah, absolutely. But, so that's a gift that I am actively working on,
Mm.
and, I'm looking forward to seeing the changes.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
Well, number three gift I'm giving myself is decisions ahead of time. So we do a lot of work, um, especially this time of year, right? So we've got whatever holidays you may be experiencing. For me, it's going to be, of course, my birthday, Thanksgiving, uh, Christmas holidays, and the New Year. And so I'm going to gift myself. In fact, it's going to be this weekend. I'm going to hole up and I'm going to sketch out the next, I don't know, I'm going to go with 50 some days, maybe 40 some days left in the year. I'm going to get myself through like January 7th
Mhm.
and sketch out the events that are coming up. I'm going to sketch out some menu options. I'm going to make all decisions for Christmas gifts will be made this weekend. Any gifts that I'm going to be giving will be decided this weekend. Again, no surprise, right? With Corona on board,
Yeah.
I don't see myself really heading to the mall. So I've heard about the shipping. You should get things sent earlier. So
Uh-huh.
I will should on myself on that. I will say it feels important to me to make these decisions ahead of time.
Yeah.
And even the gift of self-acceptance is a decision I've made ahead of time. Like I'm going to come into the holidays with just a willingness to show up, have my best plans made, and and just take it one day at a time. I feel like I'm just oversimplifying, but I just have such an ease about this year
Yeah.
that that I don't remember ever feeling in seasons past. There's a real sense for me, um, just a real calmness and a sense of gratitude that I have both my parents still alive and my children are well, and I will see everyone. We will not be having huge functions. There will be
Yeah.
small individual holiday gatherings happening, and decisions are made ahead of time.
Yeah. I think that's such a beautiful gift. And we don't think often about how important how we think of planning. I think sometimes we think of planning as a luxury.
Mm.
It's something that we should have done.
It's a
Sometimes we
necessity.
think of it that way. But but we often I see people, they're like, "I don't have time to plan this. I just need to jump in and do it."
Mm.
And that creates a lot of this is gonna lead into my last thing, that creates a lot of drama.
Mhm, mhm.
And giving yourself the gift of planning, of making those decisions ahead of time, that's not a luxury. Like you said, that is a necessity.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good. It feels right. It feels easy. Feels doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said you're gonna hole up this weekend, and make those decisions. It won't really take the entire weekend to
No, no. It's just I have some dedicated time this
Yeah.
weekend to do this because um it's a gift I'm going to give myself. Birthday, Thanksgiving, just a few days away now.
Yeah. Yep. In fact, this podcast will drop next week, so it'll be right in
Okay.
the midst of it. Ha
Right.
ha. Happy
Right.
birthday.
Yeah. Get out your calendar,
Yeah.
ladies, and sketch some things in there. Make some decisions ahead of time for yourself
Yeah.
for, whether it's planning, if it's gifts, if it's meals, if it's outfits, if it's things that you want to get done before the holidays. And you know what else is going to be on there? Is going to be some personal development time. My workouts are always going to be included on my planning ahead,
Mhm.
and self-care,
Yeah.
like taking care of me.
That's that that's an awesome gift, it really is. So my last gift is no drama, a
Mm,
no drama holiday.
mhm.
My stepdaughter gave me a mug a few years ago, and I have my coach's cup mug today, but I almost brought this one out, and it's the no drama llama mug,
Mm,
and it's got a little
mhm,
llama. It says no drama llama because I have never been a fan of drama,
mhm.
but sometimes people will try to drop drama into your life.
Oh, yeah, it
And
can.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Let's go.
that's another thing with this book that I'm reading. She talks about, some people have found comfort in drama and creating drama. That's their comfort, just like
Right.
food is comfort for others of us. And I think looking at it that way really changed the way I look at people who I see as always bringing the drama. But I have decided not to allow that drama. I'm just going to kind of let it roll off of me. I'm going to be the no drama llama. The no drama mama. Um, know that things happen. Surprises always happen,
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
but I don't have to react to them.
Mhm.
And I think this goes back, all of these gifts, if you're paying attention, they all play on each other.
Yep.
If you have planned, then that lessens the likelihood of having drama because
Yes.
you've got a plan.
Yeah.
If you've decided ahead of time that this is the way things are going to be and you're going to commit to yourself, you're going
Mhm.
to commit to keeping on no matter what,
Mhm.
then you just don't leave any opening for drama.
Yeah. And it even plays right into like, I keep sounding woo here, but just being present, just being
Yeah.
present in the moment,
Yeah.
doing the best you can in that moment with whatever presents. And we'll come back to being the observer, right? If you are the observer this holiday season and you show up and you're observing your own thoughts and you're observing other people and just having that awareness,
Mhm.
um, you can just really see that as your sense of of power and tapping into that and not getting into the drama
Yeah.
and allowing yourself to accept yourself and not quitting and showing up. Like, it really is interesting how these are all just so woven in together.
And they all come down to thought work,
Yep.
like you said. That's where we started, and that's where we'll end up. And so I would encourage you listeners to decide, what are you going to give yourself
Mm-hmm.
this holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
It we each had 3. You don't have to have that many. Maybe you're just going to give yourself the gift of beginning a thought work journey. If
Mm-hmm.
you listen to us, you probably are already on one.
Yeah.
But if you listen and you haven't really put it into practice yet, maybe just give yourself the gift of starting small. What's one thing that I can do? What's
Yeah.
one decision I can make ahead of time about the holidays?
Yeah. And make even today, what's one thing you can do today that's going to make it better for the holidays?
Yeah.
Just thinking of it today.
Yeah.
Can I just? Here we go.
Yeah. I mean, can I just, what's one doable thing?
Hmm. Hmm.
All
That's what I'm
right.
going to do this weekend. I'm on it.
All right. Well, we will see you next week. And until then, we hope that you have enjoyed this podcast and we have given you a gift. That's our
Yeah,
hope, that we have given you a gift of
for
something to
sure.
think about.
For sure.
Um, if you enjoy this podcast, please go to iTunes or YouTube and give us a 5-star rating. And we'll see you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye.